You may have come across the term system scale, but what does that actually mean, and is it even true? Today I want to show you why systems might actually help your agency to scale. And I'm going to be using a sort of paradigm that I've created called the 3 stages of agency growth. And inside of these 3 stages, the final third stage, you'll see why at some points agencies need systems and operational infrastructure to actually help them to get to that next level of growth. Now, over the last month or so, I've actually interviewed over 10 different agencies making at least 10,000 a month and asked them if they agreed with my 3 stages of growth and if they saw that systems were the key to scaling. And they all actually agreed with this 3 stages and found that operations and fixing their operations was currently their biggest bottleneck. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Sam and I help agency owners scale to 100k per month without selling your soul. If you're finding these videos useful, please do consider subscribing to the channel, and without further ado, let's dive into the video. Stage 1. So the first stage in these 3 stages of growth I'm calling stage 1, and this is agencies that have just started. So they are generally below 5,000 per month, and it is being run by a solopreneur who is just doing everything on his own. And I see here at this stage, the biggest problem being for agency owners is product market fit. So essentially they've just started, or they've been going for about a year or so, and they're currently looking for the right services to provide. They're looking for the right market to market to. They're looking for the right niche, looking for the right ideal client. So at this stage, there's not much point in actually focusing on systems, because the most important obstacle to overcome, or the most important thing to establish here, is what is actually your niche, and who are you selling to, and what do they need, and what do they want, and what problems do you need to solve for them. Up until this point, there's no point in actually systematizing anything, because you could risk putting a lot of infrastructure around something that will fundamentally change. Stage 2. So in stage 2, the agency owner has somewhat found product market fit, and so they move from being solopreneurs to either being very busy solopreneurs or having a few hired contractors in their team. At this point, I normally see the agencies making that 10k mark or 10k a month range. And at this point, the biggest problem for agency owners is generally client acquisition. So they have a rough idea of who they want to have as their clients. They just need more of the right clients. So often agency owners will experience that sort of feast and famine experience of basically trying to hunt for their next client, finally landing that client, and then spend all their time in fulfillment as they're trying to deliver the service to the client. And then if that service ends, or if the retainer stops, they then get to a point where they then have to go hunting for the next client. And so each time it really feels like a big stretch and a big heavy lift to get that next client, to get that next load of work. So at this point, all the agency wants to focus on is actually how they bring in their clients. So looking at their marketing, looking at their sales, and essentially trying to load up their pipeline with potential leads, potential prospects, so that we sort of reduce this feast and famine experience. Stage 3. So at stage 3, hopefully the agency owner has brought on a few full-time employees or FTEs. And so now the agency really can consider themselves as an agency, and they might have a bit of a small team. And at this point, the agency will be making around 10 to 15k and onwards a month in their agency. So at this point, I now see the biggest problem for agencies being their operational infrastructure. And this is because they now know who they're marketing to, they have enough clients in their pipeline, and now the biggest challenge is basically having enough time in the day to meet demand and to deliver the services. Now, despite this being the reason or the problem at stage 3, we often see that agencies still haven't actually quite mastered their niche, and that they will be having many of their clients adding on lots of services and the scope creeping just because they want to satisfy their clients and make them happy. And often we also see that some of these agencies have lots of whale clients, so clients that are spending a lot of money with them, but if they were to leave, it would be a big hit to the business. We see here that agency owners are often stuck in fulfillment, and so they have no time to really focus on the strategy of the business. And with the team that they do have, they struggle to know how to delegate to that team, and often they are struggling with the overall management of their team and how to get the most out of them. Why systems help. So those are the 3 stages of agency growth as I understand them and as the other agency owners that I spoke to understand them. But why do we think that systems will actually help agencies scale at stage 3? So as I said, systems might not always be the key to your problems. And at stage 1 and 2, we can see that actually it's different things that the agencies will be focusing on or should be focusing on. But at stage 3, we think systems are the thing that that agency needs. And it's because of a number of reasons. Firstly, by creating systems around your delivery system, you make the actual steps in that system repeatable. And by making it repeatable, it's actually easier to delegate and easier to outsource to other people in your team. By making the steps repeatable, you're more easily able to hire new team members. And by hiring new team members, you're able to increase the capacity of your team and your ability to take on more clients. By doing this, you're then also able to remove the CEO or founder from the fulfillment process. And once you're able to unlock that by removing the founder from the actual operations, they are then able to focus on the business development side of the business, whether that be focusing on the marketing or the sales or generally just new opportunities for the company. And finally, systems is going to power efficiency in your agency. Now, this isn't just because we want to speed things up, but it also means that we are able to actually increase our profit margins. And this is because if something takes less time to do, it actually means it costs less for the agency, and so your profit margins will increase. Systems is the only way that agencies are able to increase their capacity without necessarily increasing their overhead. If you're able to put systems, automations, documentation in place that does a lot of the heavy lifting for you, you won't necessarily have to hire more and more team members that directly correlates with the number of clients that you have. So now you know systems are important, it's time for you to actually implement systems in your team. And I've got a full guide for you in the link in the video description on my How to Systematize Your Agency mini course that you can download with a click of a button below. And if you found this video useful, please do consider giving it a like and actually drop a comment of what stage you think your agency is at in the 3 stages of growth. Until next time, bye-bye.